Hi everyone, welcome back to Holy Yoga with Katie. I'm Katie. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel because that does help it to grow and I really appreciate it. Today we're going to start out in Matthew chapter 6 verse 1, and that says, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets to be honored by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." So this passage, it always reminds me of my dad. So hi Dad, if you're watching. But it always reminds me of him because growing up he would always say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And I think as I get older and I deal with money more and I deal with people more, that I understand where that's coming from, even more than what I did growing up hearing this. So I guess what this passage brings to mind for me is social media. We use social media for a lot of things. It's to promote a lot of things. And I'll use celebrities just as like a general example because they're already in the media. But when you see a post on social media from a celebrity saying, I gave to this organization this much amount of money, so like $15,000, I gave this much amount of money to this organization and you should consider donating too. Okay, they're using social media to promote a worthy cause, okay? Here's this cause, here's what they do, you should consider joining too. And that's good. And we should be using social media to promote people that don't have a voice. Okay, so that's good. That's nothing to look down on. What bothers me is when a celebrity will go, hey, I donated $15,000. I donated 2 hours of my time to volunteer. I did this. I did that. I gave my time. I gave my finances, and you should too. Okay, well, it's not necessarily wrong because, yeah, you are bringing attention to an organization that may not have had that platform to do that and to get all those eyes on it. And yeah, that is really, really cool. And that is really good. But I guess what bothers me is that it's always coming back to them. What are they doing? How much money are they giving? How much time are they giving? What is the purpose in saying that? If you're using your platform to promote something, a worthy cause, and to get other people to look at it, then why do you need to put it back on you and bring attention back to you about how much you gave or how much time you spent with this organization? So I guess that's kind of the disconnect in my head of, if we look at this verse 2, so when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets. So don't go posting about it all over the place, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets to be honored by others. So he's calling you, this is Jesus talking in Matthew, he's calling these people hypocrites. You don't want to be called a hypocrite by God, right? That's pretty bad. You don't want that. So why are you bringing all the attention back to you and what you did and how much money you gave and how much time you spent, why do you need to bring that back onto you and say, look at me, and get the pats on the back because you're such a good person and you gave so much and you used your resources and your time? And while all those things are good, that's not for you to be promoting. Okay, the only thing that you need to be promoting is an organization or somebody else, lifting somebody else up. That's totally fine and that's different. It's when you're letting your left hand know what your right is doing. When you are promoting yourself over something else. When you put on the fake disguise of promoting something when really you just want the pat on the back because you did a nice thing. And I guess that's where I want to leave that today. You've already gotten your full reward because your Father's already seen what you're doing, what you've done. You don't need the reward of people telling you that you did a good job because He already knows. So don't let your left hand know what your right is doing. To start our shoulder practice today, you will need a strap. If you have a yoga strap, go ahead and have that on hand. And if you don't have a yoga strap, you can always use like a necktie. It's going to work exactly the same way. And a lot of these poses you can take from a chair if the floor is not accessible to you. So wherever you are, you're going to come to your simple seated. Whatever that looks like for you. You can have cross legs, you can have straight legs. Deep inhales through the nose and out through the mouth. On your next inhale, gently drop your chin down to your chest. You do not need to push the stretch. The weight of your head is plenty. Keep those shoulders relaxed and down. Nice and slow. Bring your head back up. Deep inhale. Exhale. Drop your right ear down to your right shoulder. Careful not to bring the shoulder up. When we drop our head off, our body says we want these two things to touch. So keep your right shoulder relaxed and just let your head fall off in that direction. On your next inhale, bring your head back up to center. And on your next inhale, drop your left ear down to your left shoulder. Inhale, bring your head back up. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands back behind you. You're going to lace your fingers together. Keep your palms together. Shoulders are down and back, and you're looking up towards the ceiling. You should feel this in your neck, the front of your neck, your chest, and in the front of your shoulders. Nice and slow, relax those arms. Deep inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand back behind you, spinal twist. Stay up nice and tall, keep your shoulders back. Bring it back. Deep inhale, sweep up. Exhale, left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right hand goes back behind you, shoulders back. Gently twist in. Bring it back. Deep inhale, sweep up. Exhale, push through your palms, hands to heart space. Go ahead and let your hands relax down. You're going to take some shoulder rolls back behind you. So as big a range of motion as you can, as long as it doesn't hurt you. Go ahead and stop. We're going to take them forward now. And go ahead and relax those shoulders down. We're going to take our left hand to the mat. We're going to take our right hand and gently, we're going to put pressure on the left side of our head. So we're rooting down through the left hand, pushing into the ground. So we're pushing that shoulder down. And gently, just with the tips of your fingers, you're going to encourage your head over to the right. And you should feel a deep stretch all the way down your neck and into the top of your shoulder. Just breathe. Gently release your head. Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, right side next. So right palm roots down into your mat. You're going to push that shoulder down into the floor. Take your left fingertips, encourage your head over to the left. Deep inhales and long exhales. Gently release your head. Let your palms rest down on your knees. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale through your mouth. All right, we're going to use our strap next. So, we're going to take our strap in our right hand. We're going to bring it around the back. Okay, so our strap is behind us, right hand is on top. We're going to take our left hand up underneath, and gently you're going to work your hands together behind you. Now, what I see most often in this pose is when people start working their arms together, their arm on the top, so in this case it's our right hand, their elbows pointed out to the wall. I want you to try to get your elbow up towards the ceiling as best you can. And secondly, when we start working our hands together, people go like this. Does this look like good alignment? No. Keep your belly button drawn in. You're still nice and tall. You never want to lose your alignment in any kind of pose. If you're losing your alignment, you're too far in, you need to come back a little bit, okay? So, if that means that your hands are 2 feet apart, but you can keep your alignment, then that's what that means, okay? It is not about how close you can get your hands together. It's about how close you can get your hands together while maintaining your alignment, okay? So slowly and gently working those hands together behind you. When you get to your resting place in the position, sitting up nice and tall, relax those shoulders. You should feel this in the front of your left shoulder and in the tricep of your right arm. Sitting up tall, ribs are knit down so they're not flared out. And just breathe through it. Nice and slow, start walking that left hand down your strap. You can keep that strap out in front of you. On your next inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart space. All right, we're gonna work on the other side this time. So our strap is in our left hand. We're gonna take it behind us. We're going to be mindful of our alignment the whole time. Our left elbow is pointed up towards the ceiling as best as we can while keeping our alignment. And you will notice this side is so much tighter on me than the other side because my right arm is my dominant arm. It has much more muscle in it than my left side, and it gets used a lot more, so it's a lot tighter. So be mindful of your different sides and how to treat them. Your one side might not be as stretchy as your other side, and that is normal and that is fine. So work around it. So keeping up nice and tall, belly buttons drawn in. Inhales through your nose and exhales through your mouth. Nice and slow, you can start walking that right hand down your strap. All right, you can set that strap out next to you. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders are back. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart space. All right, we are going to move into one of my favorite shoulder openers. This works a little bit of the lower portion of the shoulder blades. So get comfy. You can do this from a chair. You're going to take your left hand out across. Okay, so my left hand is in front of my right shoulder. I'm going to take my right hand, my right arm over top of my left arm. So my arms are crisscrossed. From there, watch closely. I'm going to bring the backs of my hands together. And if it is available to you, what you're going to do is bring your palms together. Okay, so my left fingers are on my right palm. Now, again, what happens in this pose is when you go into it, you say, I want to get as twisty and as bendy as I can. And we end up like this. Okay? I don't care how twisty and bendy you can get. I want you to keep your fingers up towards the ceiling, okay? And if that means you can bind in the front, that means you can bind in the front. If that means you just bring the backs of your hands together, then that's what that means, okay? Now, watch your shoulders, because even if your hands are pointed up towards the ceiling, your shoulders might want to start caving in, okay? So we pay attention to our fingertips. We draw our shoulders down and back, so we're maintaining our nice straight spine, belly button's drawn in, and from there, we're going to do something that gets into the stretch. So we're going to lift our elbows up towards the ceiling. That's what gives you that stretch in between your shoulder blades. So there's a lot of things working in this pose that when you look at it, it doesn't look like much is going on. There's a lot going on. Keeping the shoulders down and back, elbows up, hands straight up towards the ceiling. Nice and slow. Bring those elbows back down first. Then you can unbind your hands. Sit up nice and tall. Let those shoulders relax down. Deep inhale through your nose. And gently bring your chin back down to your chest. Bring your head back up to neutral. We're going to hit our other side this time. So, right hand goes across. Right hand is in front of left shoulder. Our left hand or left arm is going to go on top. Bring the backs of your hands together. And remember, this side might be different than your other side. So, staying up nice and tall. If you can bind in the front, you may do so. Keep the shoulders down and back, belly buttons drawn in, and lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. That left side is a lot tighter than the right. Breathe with it. And if you need it to be a little less intense, drop the elbows down just a little bit. That'll take some pressure off. Gently start relaxing those elbows down. Slowly unbind. Let the shoulders relax down. Inhale through your nose. And on your exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Nice and slow, bring your head back up. We are going to make our way onto all fours in our tabletop position and go into some cat-cows. So your knees are apart, up underneath your hips. Your wrists are right up underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, you're going to drop your belly down, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arch your back like a cat, draw your belly button in tight. Push all that air out. So at your own pace. We are going to go into thread the needle, so bring it back to a neutral spine. We're going to do our left side first. So we're going to root down through the four corners of our right palm. So that's almost like picking your fingers up off of the floor, pushing into your palm, and then laying the fingers down. You're gripping into your mat. You're staying strong in the right shoulder. We're not sinking down. From there, we're going to take our left hand, rotate up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, you're going to bring your left hand through, up underneath your right hand. We're going to lay down on that left shoulder. If this is enough for you, just stay here. If you want to get a little deeper, you can take your right hand forward. That'll put more pressure into the shoulder. And if you want even more pressure, you can straighten out your right leg, and that'll put more weight into the left shoulder. So you determine what works best for you. Careful not to sink down into your neck. You want to use that right arm to help lift your neck up. You never want to put too much pressure on the neck. If your leg is extended, go ahead and bring it back down to your mat. You can start to walk your right hand up. We're going to find the four corners in that right palm, and then lift through the right arm, bringing the left hand all the way back up. Exhale, left hand back down to your mat. Go ahead and take a few cat-cows at your own pace. Bring it back to a neutral spine. We're going to root down through the four corners of our left hand and then lay those fingers down, gripping into our mat. Right hand goes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand threads underneath the left arm. We're laying down on that right shoulder. If you want a little deeper, walk your left hand forward. And if you want deeper still, You can extend your left leg out. Careful not to sink into your neck. If your leg is extended, go ahead and bring it back down to the mat. Walk that left hand back in. Root down through the four corners of that left hand. We're going to push up through it. Right hand all the way up towards the ceiling. And right hand back down to the mat. Take your knees wide, toes together behind you, shift it back. Let your head rest down on your mat, and you're going to actively reach your hands forward. You should start to feel that in your lats and then your shoulder blades. And if you want to get a little deeper, you can find your fingertips, use your fingertips, and push your chest down towards the floor. Deep inhales, long exhales. If you're on your fingertips, go ahead and relax your hands down. We are going to get into a yummy stretch. This is one of my favorite ones. So, staying in child's pose, we're going to walk our hands off to the right side of our mat and just bring our chest down. Rest your head on the floor. And you should feel that stretch all the way down your left side. Slowly walk your hands back to center. Relax in that child's pose. And slowly walk your hands off to the left side of your mat. Let that chest come down to your mat. Rest your forehead down on the floor. You should feel that stretch all down your right side. Slowly walk your hands back to center. Rest in that child's pose. we're going to go into mouse. So keeping your forehead rested down on your mat. It may be more comfortable for you to bring your knees a little closer together. We're going to bring our hands all the way back and around. Try to grab onto your heels or your ankles. Your shoulders are kind of resting on your knees. And just relax. Your jaw and your shoulders, they don't need to work right now. From mouse, I invite you to come to whatever resting position is most comfortable for you. If you want to stay in mouse or go to child's pose or turn around and lay down on your back, all are fine. Find a resting position that suits you today. When you find your resting position, turn your focus to your breath. Long inhales through your nose and exhales through your mouth. Let your belly and your chest rise and fall freely. And from there, bring your attention to your physical body. From our head all the way down, we're going to be conscious about our relaxing. Relax your forehead. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders and your arms and your hands. Relax your hips, your legs, and relax your feet. Melt your body back into the mat. You can use this time for rest, for prayer, meditating on our scripture, whatever you need today. Bringing awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And if you'd like, you can roll over onto whatever side feels best for you. And slowly, when you're ready, you can make your way back up to your simple seated. When you get here, you're sitting up tall, shoulders are back, belly button's drawn in. Inhales through your nose and out through your mouth. On your next inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart space. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart space. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that your shoulders are more relaxed now than when we began. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. It does help it grow. And remember to be kind, show love, and give grace. Bye-bye, guys.